Welcome to Dragon Ball Speak, a show where we summarize and review every episode of Dragon Ball Z, 3 episodes at a time. We'll be rating them on a scale of 1 to 7 stars, and we're available on Spotify, YouTube, and iTunes, soon to be Android. I'm Brandon.
And I'm Wesley.
And this is Dragon Ball Speak. Look how far we've come. Look, look how much weight we gained.
My hair's longer.
Look how much hair we grew.
We have a light.
I've got a stash now.
Yeah.
Still not what I want it to be. He's rocking one himself.
Mine is still not what I want it to be.
What else? We are in our 3rd or 4th studio.
Yeah.
3rd.
You can drink legally now?
I apparently wasn't 21 when we started. I'm 24 now.
You have kids on the way.
2 boys. They are named Goku and Vegeta, for those who are asking.
Yes.
And we've both furthered our career. Wesley's a famous person now. I don't know if you guys... If anyone watched us from the beginning and then up until now, Wesley actually kind of became a famous person in the meantime, which is insane. If you follow games media at all, Wesley is famous in games media.
I would not say famous.
He has conversations.
Have made a name somewhat for myself in games
Wesley is
media.
at the point now where 4 or 5 years ago, when we talked about people in games media, because we've always been pretty into it, he's like the kind of person that we would name drop on the regular.
I would disagree. But
That is true. That is true.
I will be humble and take the compliment.
Sit down. Be humble. And yeah, so lots has changed in the meantime. Oh yeah, we both got married? Or you were already married? I got married.
Yeah. I was married. You got engaged and married.
Yeah, we moved. Let's think. I moved twice because I lived in your house when we started. You moved once.
We're in our 4th studio.
Is it 4th?
First one,
your house?
Actually, 5th.
No.
We made 2 studios out of my old house. Then we recorded in your old place.
Because when I left, we moved the studio into my old room.
Then we recorded at your place. Then we recorded at my place in between your place and this place. That was only like 2 episodes, I think.
5th studio.
Yeah.
I know the audio was really bad at that one.
Mm-hmm. And now we have green screen.
And decorations on the wall.
We don't.
No.
But that's okay.
I also stopped being able to afford to buy more figures for the table. Yeah,
it turns out getting older kind of sucks sometimes.
Yeah, the mo money, mo problems. I came up with that, and I stand by it.
Yeah, copyrighted by Dragon Ball Speak.
Copyrighted and patent pending.
And trademarked. So don't use that, Disney.
We will be on Shark Tank.
Yeah. Hi, Sharks.
Hey, Sharks, this is Dragon Ball Speak. Kevin, we really want to work with you.
We want to pitch you a podcast you've never heard of before. 2 guys break down and summarize Dragon Ball Z.
2 guys.
I'm out.
2 guys. It's the meme. It's the 2 guys need to make what is it? 2 guys have to make a podcast to may have an excuse to talk about something.
Yeah. It is unfortunately, it is very true. But you know what? It's worth it because now we have Dragon Ball Speak, the #1 Dragon Ball Z podcast named Dragon Ball Speak on the internet.
True. And it's the #1 podcast named Dragon Ball Speak in the world in general.
Yeah. We actually just confirmed that. We didn't even know that last week. The latest numbers have come in and we are the #1 podcast in the world named Dragon Ball Speak.
Move out of the way, car talk.
Oh, yeah. They are.
Are they still?
I think so. Yeah, they haven't done a show in like 11 years.
What is it? Cars?
They talk about cars.
All right, so I have a couple of discussion topics for us and mostly for you today because we like to have fun
under the sun.
Fun, here it comes. We're going to do a little retrospective. We're going to do some reviews. We're going to do some predictions. We're going to do some other fun stuff. So stick around and enjoy. I hope you're enjoying your lunch. If you're anything like me, you can't eat without watching YouTube.
Yeah.
Are you in that boat?
Not YouTube, but like I'm on Twitter or TikTok or something.
I must be watching a YouTube video when I'm eating.
Sometimes, but I catch myself when I do this. Sometimes I'll open YouTube on the app, and if you like scroll up out of YouTube, it'll put YouTube in your corner, and then I'll scroll on Twitter while a YouTube video is playing.
I've done that.
And I always try to catch myself and be like, no, this is bad. I've been trying to read books lately. I've been trying to do, I'm sticking to a book a month, and I've been reading at lunch lately, and I feel much better.
That's impressive. I started reading too.
Look at us.
Because I own Nick Offerman's first book, and then we watched the episode with him in The Last of Us, and I had never finished the book. I only read the first couple chapters. 5 years ago, I probably bought it. And so now I picked that back up, and I'm reading it again. And he's got a new one out that I'll probably buy as well.
I watched him perform at Florida State University to promote that book.
Oh, my God, I remember that.
Yeah, and now he's going on tour again.
Is he?
Yeah.
I did see that. It's not anywhere over here.
No, yeah, it's like a much smaller tour, but it was pretty good. It was a very, very long stand-up comp set where he also talked about why it's like good to like use wood and stuff.
So here's my thing where I'm reading an actor's autobiography because this is my second one. I read A Life in Parts by Bryan Cranston, and I couldn't recommend it enough. It's really good. One of my friends borrowed it and never gave it back, and I asked him if he still had it, and he said no, which is a real shame because the book was a gift from my wife. Anyway, it starts with a H and ends with a Utch.
I was gonna guess. I was like, there was two people that popped in my head.
It's that one. So anyway,
he won't even see this.
No. Anyway, I get this thing where I get really, really, really insanely jealous of their lives and the fact that they became actors, because that's kind of something I've always wanted to do. And it's something I can do on the side with the job that I have, and it's actually maybe something that I'll look into someday. But anyway,
10 years to become a master at anything.
It's kind of like whenever I watch like a good YouTube video, I'm like, man, I wish I was that was my job. Like reviews, tier lists. I really like Shafrilla's. Anyway,
is that the Muppet?
No, that's Arlo.
Oh, Arlo's cool.
Yeah, a little too nice.
Oh,
I think.
I've only seen the videos you've sent me.
Not critical enough. Yeah, his 3-hour Pikmin review. Highly recommend that as a Pikminer myself.
Number one Pikmin fan.
That is true.
Big year for you.
We'll see. I think it's getting delayed.
I think it's getting delayed in 2024 as well, but you know.
And I also think we're not getting so apparently the reason we're not going to have Nintendo's not at E3, you would know better than me, being the famous games industry person that you are, but apparently it's because Nintendo's second half of 2023 is going to have not a single goddamn game besides maybe Pikmin 4.
Yeah, apparently Nintendo reportedly does not have enough to showcase to justify E3, which is, that kind of makes sense. The Switch is winding down.
It doesn't make sense.
It also speaks to what Nintendo thinks of Pikmin 4. I know for a fact Brandon would be okay if Nintendo was like, we have a Pikmin 4 Direct. It will be 40 minutes long. We'll see you at E3.
Yes.
There are others that would like that as well.
Few.
But
the few, the proud.
Nintendo does not believe in those people to show up. So, yeah, they...
This does give me high hopes for Pikmin 4 selling really well.
I think it's going to sell the best of the trilogy, and I think the numbers will be surprising.
All it has to do is beat 2 million units, because the first game came out on GameCube, was a launch title for the GameCube, a console that didn't sell well. Pikmin 2 came out after the Wii came out on GameCube, so no one's going to buy it. Pikmin 3 was scheduled to release on Wii, was in development hell, and then came out on the Wii U, which sold 12 million units total, which, fun fact, is less than half as many units as Mario Kart 8 Deluxe has sold alone.
Yeah. And
Animal Crossing New Horizons, and I think Smash Ultimate. The few, the proud, once again. And then, what was it? Oh, yeah, and then Pikmin 3 Deluxe came out on Switch, but the issue with Pikmin 3 Deluxe is that it has 3 in the title.
Yeah.
It's still the best-selling... And I think 4 is going to have the same problem. It's still the best-selling Pikmin game, but people were intimidated by the fact that it's 3. I'm not going to buy Metroid Prime 4 when it comes out for the same reason. I didn't play the first 3. Does it matter? Maybe, maybe not. That game's not coming out anyway.
I think that Pikmin 4 will sell at least 5 million.
Why don't you drop us a leak real quick? Drop us a Nintendo leak.
Pikmin 4 takes place before Pikmin 1.
I actually think they are going to do that, and I'm not a huge fan of that. They're going to do something like that.
Yeah, the trailer seems.
I don't think
a newer Earth or a less apocalyptic.
So if you'll recall, I think they're gearing it more towards kids, which is unfortunate. If you recall, like 5 years ago, there was a Pikmin leak called Pikmin World, where they were doing a whole different thing and they were going to call it Pikmin World and whatever. It's its own thing. Anyway, I don't remember the concept, but I do remember that I liked the title. And I thought that maybe they would use a title such as that for this new Pikmin game to get people in who don't have a history with Pikmin, which is most people.
They don't want Pikmin to succeed.
Tell me why you're going to port your first 2 games onto the Wii, make them better, but call them New Play Control Pikmin, and give them the worst box art you will ever see in the history of video games, besides Mega Man 1.
Nintendo does not want Pikmin to be successful.
They've done everything to prevent, and now I see all these YouTube videos, long ones. Pikmin 1, oh my god, it's a masterpiece. And Pikmin 2, and Pikmin's this underrated franchise. Some of us have been saying it. I had it on GameCube. I had it since launch. I was like 4. And some of us have been saying that for years. There's something about it. There's something really charming about it. And you know what? No one gives it enough credit. And now people are trying to jump on the bandwagon, and they're all pieces of shit.
Okay.
Yeah, they are. Anyway, you thought this was a Dragon Ball Z discussion.
Welcome to Pikmin Speak.
Yeah. Nintendo. Anyway, no, it doesn't make sense for Nintendo to not have a light.
We're going back.
Because I forgot about this. It does not make sense, despite what you said, for Nintendo to have a light second half of the year, because they just said they're ramping up Switch production even more. The Switch has already sold like 120 million units, which means it's better selling than the Wii, which is mind-boggling.
Every time they put out Mario Kart DLC, more people buy the game. Pokemon Violet and Scarlet are probably going to get DLC this year.
They are.
And Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. That's why they're ramping up production. I'm not confident Pikmin 4 is coming out on this console. It will, but I think it'll come out on the next console.
No, because it would be just perfect for the next console to be a failure like the Wii U, and Pikmin 4 comes out on it, and it sells 500,000 units.
For a failure.
Well, yeah, it's every other.
Yeah,
always. Except for Super Nintendo and the Nintendo. But other than that, since the 64, failure, or it wasn't a failure, GameCube was, Wii wasn't, Wii U was, Switch is not a failure. And so now we're due, when all they have to do is make Switch 2. It's as powerful as a PS4, or hell, maybe even a PS5. Maybe close.
Can you imagine?
No, because they won't do it.
It's so amazing.
And it's got a bigger screen, it's got a better battery life, and it's got Mario Odyssey 2. What else does people want? What else do people want? That's the proper grammar.
We want Pokemon Emerald on our Switches.
Oh no, because they'll have Ilka make it, and it's going to be the most dog shit looking remake you've ever seen in your life.
I forgot that you hated the Diamond and Pearl remakes.
I don't hate them because I do hate them. I do hate them in concept. I liked Diamond and Pearl when I was a kid. Diamond and Pearl are not very good Pokemon games. Platinum's a good Pokemon game, but guess what they remade? Diamond and Pearl. Guess what they ignored? Platinum. Guess what they did with the graphics? Made them look like shit. And what's crazy is that Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu and Pokemon Let's Go Eevee are to this day the best looking Pokemon games on Switch. Riddle me that, you know?
They're good games.
Yeah. We hated on them because they had Pokemon Go mechanics, but
I did not hate on it. I found it charming in a unique way for Pokemon, knowing that we were still going to get mainline Pokemon games like we wanted.
Yeah, Sword and Shield. That's exactly what we wanted.
Scarlet and Violet is what I was waiting on back then. I just didn't know it yet.
It's a step.
I just didn't know it yet.
It's a step, and it's not even that big of a step.
No, but it's
still,
I don't know. That Area Zero song is a pretty big step.
I agree, but listen, it's like two cars. You got a Ferrari and you got a Maserati.
Ford versus
Ford v Ferrari.
Yeah,
Popular movie from the year 2021. Okay, and you got them in the racing, and then one of them's faster than the other, and that's the current generation. And
Dominic Toretto.
And the other one, the Ford, is slowing down.
Yeah.
And it's slowing down, but it's still got plenty of fuel. They both do. Mm-hmm. And the track is 1,000 miles long.
It's a long track.
Right. So they continue to get a bigger and bigger gap over time. And eventually, no one gives a shit about the Ford. You know? Tears of the Kingdom is going to perform just as poorly, fidelity-wise, as Breath of the Wild. Yes, it is.
I thought you were going to say Violet and Scarlet.
No. As Breath of the Wild.
It will.
Breath of the Wild has poor performance.
Yeah, but Violet and Scarlet showed us new levels of poor performance on the Switch. IMO. I imagine if I played Breath of the Wild now, I'd be like, okay, this isn't too bad compared to what I just finished, which was Pokemon Violet.
You're right. I guess when you lower expectations, everything seems great.
The worst part, though, is that as bad as the performance on Pokemon Scarlet and Violet is, you and me going to be saying we like that game.
I played it 90 hours so far.
We are part of the problem. We should have not bought the game, but you know what? We're chums.
I agree.
We're Krillinses.
I don't think Tears of the Kingdom is going to be as good as Breath of the Wild or have as much impact.
I don't know.
Anyway, what do you think is going to happen in Dragon Ball Z Battle of the Gods?
I think I don't know. It's tough because I know that what's his face? Beerus exists.
Yes, but what is he?
He's a cat.
But what is he in the movie?
I assume the villain. I think Beerus is going to come down and Goku is going to get the gang together and they're going to fight Beerus.
Why? What do you think his motivation is? Like
Beerus's motivation?
Yeah. He knows he exists, by the way, mostly because of Fortnite.
Yes, that's what I'm going off of Fortnite. Here's the thing. I know because of Fortnite that Beerus comes from a planet. And there's X's all over the rocks, and you have to Kamehameha them to blow them up.
That's actually, I forgot about that. That's a good point.
So, no, I don't know. I just think that, I don't know. Why do any of the villains ever come down to Earth to just do stuff? To fight.
To just do stuff.
Like, Beerus is going to come down. He's going to be like, oh, a new planet to mess with. And then Goku's going to be like, this is my planet. And then fight. Battle of the Gods. Also, I know that they have their next forms where they get blue hair. So
do you think that happens in this movie?
Yeah, I think so. I assume so. I think they're going to get their blue hair and they're going to beat Beerus.
Who takes the dub?
Not Vegeta. We know that. Why do we know that? Because Vegeta is not allowed to get dubs.
So you think it's a good old-fashioned villain shows up and old Goki gets the win?
I think old Goki gets the win, and I think that's what people would have wanted. You say old-fashioned, but old-fashioned Dragon Ball Z is probably what people wanted after a
20-year-ish, 20-year hiatus.
Yeah, and if after I haven't seen Evolution, we will be doing a Dragon Ball Speak Evolution review.
I really want to do something like, I want to do like a live watch-along, but I don't know that anybody would actually watch with us.
I don't think so, but maybe.
Nah, but we will do a review.
Let us know in the comments. We need one person to say yes, and we'll do it.
Or we could just record and film us watching it. No, that would be 2 hours long.
Yeah, no one's going to watch that.
Nope.
It is what it is. We will review it, though, and I imagine it's going to suck and not have the awesome fights and drama and stuff that Dragon Ball Z is known for. And then Toriyama was like, you know what? I got to show these punks what a Dragon Ball Z fight is like. And I imagine Beer shows up in the first 20 minutes, and the next 40 to 50 to 60 minutes is some sick fights.
Oh, so you want like an hour of fighting?
I don't necessarily want that. That's what I think is going to happen.
The fight scenes are expensive.
They got that money over there at
Toei.
All
right, what character in Dragon Ball Z overall deserved better / got done the most dirty? I have my answer.
The one that just popped into my head initially was Krillin. But I think that's a little too easy of an answer. Honestly, what could Krillin have done?
They could have done anything. So remember, like, the potential unleashed on Namek?
Yes.
Who's to say that they can't, train with King Kai and become superhumans? Maybe humans can become their own warrior race through the influence of the Saiyans. Like Oob, sure. Like, they could really do anything.
I know, but here's the thing. I think Krillin, in a way, came out on top of everyone else.
Because of...
He's with Android 18. That's a dub. That's a massive dub. He's got, a beautiful wife. He's got a family. He's living easy. He doesn't have to worry about fighting aliens from different planets that threaten everything they know. He's got hair now. He's living a good life, I think. And I think, in this universe, that's all you can ask for. My real answer, I think, and maybe it shocks you, maybe it doesn't. I'm going to say Piccolo.
That was my answer.
Okay, because Piccolo starts strong and gets a lot of goodness, and then about halfway through, we kind of just don't let Piccolo do much.
His last relevant moment is fighting Android 17 or fighting Imperfect Cell.
Yeah.
Which is such a shame because, that's after he merges with Kami, becomes a lot stronger, and it's really cool. He's a fan favorite character. He's one of my favorite characters for sure. And I just hate the fading into, or the failure to keep up with the main cast there towards the end because he's just such a cool character.
Yeah, it's a shame because I feel like we still don't really know the limits of his power. We don't even like really have a construct of his power. And so like you could make him stronger if you needed him to be stronger to keep up with Goku and Vegeta. There's so much they could have done, and he's a cool character, and I feel like he was cut to Piccolo real quick for a line every few episodes.
Right, which I do love he always does have like the good insight for sure. Like I love like him and Vegeta's mutual respect. I love his design. But yeah, it just sucks because you can do anything. Like you can write any excuse for him to become more powerful. Even make him train for a day in the hyperbolic time chamber and he unlocks Super Namekian, like whatever. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like
give him a DMR. I literally got a dub the other night with Piccolo using a DMR. Like
right. Don't give him the scar because that needs a buff.
Yeah, don't give him the scar.
And then I do think you could make an argument for most of the characters, but I think you could make an argument for Gohan there at the end where he underwent all that training, came back a badass, and immediately lost his fight, and then immediately got replaced with Goku again. Even though the whole point of the Buu saga at first was like Goku should not be the one who wins every time.
Yeah, I think...
and Cell, as for that matter.
It's just, I think the Buu saga, I mean, we've talked about it before, but it is just like, it feels very reactive to fans.
Oh, yeah.
In a bad way.
Exactly, which is why I want to list the things out loud real quick in the Buu arc that became completely irrelevant.
Do it.
Okay, here's one. Fusion. Didn't work.
Yeah.
Here's one. Ultimate Gohan. Didn't work.
I forgot about that.
Here's another one. Super Saiyan 3 did not work.
And it was used lame like 3 times.
And there's another one. Oh, Vegeta's death didn't stay dead.
Yeah.
Didn't work.
Goku's death. I mean, anybody's... I mean, Goku's death makes sense. He came back and beat Buu, but like...
So Fusion, Super Saiyan 3, Ultimate Gohan, all 3 things that you would think would be like clinch the victory? Cinch the victory?
Clinch the victory.
Clench your cheeks.
Clench the cheeks, yeah.
Became immediately irrelevant.
That's the Buu saga in, a few ways. The Buu saga, because of the wish to bring everybody back and kind of erase their minds of Buu, kind of is irrelevant for most everyone in the universe of Dragon Ball Z except for like 10 people who know what happened.
I think the most important part of the Buu saga is the Vegeta stuff.
Yeah.
His sacrifice, the Majin Vegeta stuff, and then his speech to Goku towards the end. Otherwise, Goku didn't develop as a character. Gohan became stronger but didn't develop as a character.
Goten and Trunks might as well be played for laughs for most of their existence in the Buu saga.
And they're honestly torturous to watch most of the time. So yeah. But anyway,
if you've been watching Dragon Ball Speak for the past 2 years, year and a half, our qualms with the Buu saga.
Yep. So your answer is Piccolo. Mine would be Piccolo. Which character would you like to see become more relevant or powerful in Super or characters?
Ooh.
Like which one? Not which one you think will, but which one do you want to become like one of the guys that can fight the villain and hold their own?
I do want Piccolo to become more relevant for the reasons we just talked about, but I won't answer with that because we just talked about that. I want Vegeta to get a little more relevant. He's pretty relevant throughout all of Dragon Ball Z, but not as a fighter. He has moments where he's getting his ass beat, but like he doesn't get the kind of growth that Goku and even Gohan get as a fighter. Like where's his Super Saiyan 3?
Really, even when he does Super Saiyan 2, it's not really like stated that he's reached the next level. He just kind of has lightning around him when he's Majin Vegeta.
Now that he is like a good guy, now that he is one of the good guys, I'd like to see him be a good guy like Goku. Since finding out he's a good guy, we saw him try to sacrifice his life, which is cool, but like that was it. And then he's just weird in the last few episodes of Dragon Ball Z. Yeah. Breaking the fourth wall. And yeah, I just think I want more Goku because Goku is awesome and he's great. But I wouldn't mind if Super like scaled Goku, not scaled him back, but like put him in the background a bit more to allow other characters to breathe, because I don't even know where Goku can go from here character-wise, other than the fact that he can get stronger, which is awesome to watch on screen. But I think a lot of other characters have potential for like more interesting growth. Piccolo, Vegeta, Even like Gohan. I'd like to see Gohan reckon with the fact that he seemingly doesn't like fighting anymore, or can't fight anymore and wants to. Or maybe Gohan's the father in the Dragon Ball's universe. It's like, you know what? I'm a father now. I can't risk my life the way that my dad did. Just stuff like that.
Yeah, I could see all that for sure. Do you think Android 17 comes back?
Oh yeah, I forgot that.
Since he's confirmed like to be alive. Do you think he comes back not as a villain or anything, but like as a character?
I think so. That'd be cool. I would hope so.
Yeah, do you think seeing 17 and 18 fight again would be cool? But like on this side this time? On the good side?
I'd love to see more 17 for sure. And 18, obviously. 18 is another character that kind of
became a housewife.
Yeah, exactly. We talked about this last episode. But yeah, I mean a little more love to the girls of Dragon Ball Z. They've kind of already placed Bulma and Android 18 and Chi-Chi and the housewife roles that they've basically been most of the show. And when they tried to branch out with Bulma, they gave her like the worst filler stuff anyway. But I don't know, like maybe Pan can be something really cool. I think it'd be cool to see a fighter like Goku, but it's a girl or a woman. We saw that with Android 17 or 18, but yeah, there's always room for more.
Yeah. All right. So what is your official final main saga ranking? We got Saiyan, Frieza, Cell, Boo. And this has to be
and
like
Android. I think Android should be its own.
Fair. All right. Throw it in there.
Because we were talking about that recently.
Android's long.
Fortnite, and I forget that the Android saga is like, it's easy to slot it into the Cell saga, but for a minute there, the androids seemed like their own threat.
That was the threat. Yeah, for sure. All right. Throw it in there then.
What is the, what do we got
again? Saiyan, Frieza, Android, Cell, Boo. And this has to be like your definitive, best to worst, 100% answer.
Saiyan,
Frieza, and then Android, Cell, Boo.
Android, Cell, Boo.
Android starting with like Future Trunks comes and gives them their warning.
The definitive ranking. We're gonna put. Wait, 1, 2, 3.
I'm curious to hear because I have a related question next, and it's slightly different, but it is related. So I'm excited to see how the two match up.
Okay. Number 7.
7.
Garlic Jr.
Oh, shoot.
It's too long for how bad it is.
Yeah.
The characters aren't memorable.
No.
The names aren't great. And the fights aren't great.
I agree.
Number 6, the Egg Saga.
Oh, not the Egg Saga.
Which we did talk about last week, so you already know my feelings on that. But it's boring. It made me want to fall asleep. It's overall just a bad episode. Number 5.
Oh, no. He's changing his mind. Commit.
The Boo Saga.
Oh.
The Boo Saga.
Oh,
The Boo Saga has some big highlights. But overall, when I think about the Boo Saga, I think of, Majin Vegeta. I think of Vegeta's speeches.
Mm-hmm.
And then when I think about the other stuff, I'm just not happy. Boo's multiple forms, especially the Channing Tatum form, not a big fan of. Fusion, and how annoying that was. There's just so much of the Boo Saga felt like a waste of time. And I just think about us trying to film Dragon Ball Speak. The more bored we are with an arc, the harder it is for us to get together to watch, because it's not fun. It's us having to spend 2 hours not enjoying ourselves. And a lot of that happened in the Boo Saga, as you can see if you look at episode uploads.
Yeah, luckily we were just talking about the for what it is, like all the super arcs, which there's 4 or 5 again, ish or whatever. But the point is, they're a lot more concise because we've got 4 or so arcs in a 130 episode series,
almost the same length as the Boo Saga.
Versus and virtually no filler. Kind of no filler, and then virtually like, God, I keep mixing up my words. And then, compared to Dragon Ball Z, which has all these long arcs, but they're so padded because of the serialization and, whatever, budgets and whatever.
I was reading that Kai is like 160 episodes or something.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
That's crazy. The fact that you can take out 130 episodes of Dragon Ball Z and make a concise show that a lot of people think is better. It's a lot.
There's a lot to cut. Like even episodes that aren't filler, like there's a lot of filler sprinkled in.
Yeah.
And what's crazy about the Buu Saga being the most tedious is that it virtually has no filler. So it's just that tedious.
Yeah. And it's like what we've talked about is it just feels so reactive to fans and it has no aim. It just feels like every week the anime was like, "Oh, you guys wanted this instead? You don't want to do Gohan no more? You want Goku? Okay. Oh, Fusion? How you don't like that no more? Okay, no worries. We'll get rid of that. Oh, we'll bring it back." It's just
Yeah.
Number 4, the Saiyan arc.
Really?
Yeah, I was going back and forth between this and the next one, but it's been so long now that I mostly remember the highlights because that's what your mind does. You think about the great moments, but the Saiyan arc has some not great moments. I was paging through and I have some 2 stars and some 3 stars in there. And it's a good table setter for Dragon Ball Z, but it doesn't really compare to a lot of else what happens. It's cool seeing, like, I feel like if I went back and watched it now, I'd appreciate it a lot more just to see where Vegeta has gone since then. And to see how much taller he's gotten, but yeah, I mean there was some parts of the Saiyan arc where you're just kind of like, wow. I think I would really enjoy seeing the power scale being so low again. Yeah,
there's that, and there's just the fact that like I do think people give the Saiyan stuff too much credit. When you read it, it's great. Just like a lot of this stuff, Frieza 2 is enhanced by reading it. Besides the fact that you're missing out on obviously the music and animation and stuff, but watching it, there's a lot of bad, and really the only it's the major stuff is when Goku shows up, fights Nappa, wins, Vegeta kills Nappa, and then Goku versus Vegeta. That stuff is really drawn out in the anime, really really drawn out, and it's just the first. It's the first sign of the waiting for Goku trope, and it's not a good indicator because like. They do that so many times, but like that's one of the worst examples of it, I think. And we have like the Snake Way stuff, and
oh my god,
yeah. Do you remember how long it felt like? It feels like
Snake Way's like 7 episodes.
Snake Way felt longer than the Majin Buu arc.
Yeah, I forgot about that. That's the hard part with going back. So,
but if you were to watch Kai with the redub and with the conciseness of it, or if you were to read the manga, I do think you would change a little bit of your perspective. Yeah. But I think the highlight of that arc is definitely the Kamehameha versus the Kaioken times 20 versus the Galagun. And then, of course, I do like how it was one of those where, like, it felt like all characters were necessary for survival. Yajirobe pitched in. Krillin helped with the Spirit Bomb, the mini Spirit Bomb. Chaozu, well,
he tried.
So did Yamcha. Yamcha got killed by a Cyberman. And that's the last time he basically fought anybody.
Yeah, I mean, I would also stop fighting if I lost to a Cyberman.
Yeah.
What even are the Cybermen?
They're plants. They're like, I don't know. I think there's something, a game or something that says where they got them. They got them from some planet or something. I don't know.
Makes sense.
I don't remember. Or they grow them on planet Vegeta or something.
Number 3, the Frieza arc.
Okay. Explain.
So
I'll start. I'll interrupt you real quick. This is most people's favorite.
Yeah, that is crazy to me. Only not because of how. No, I'm not saying Frieza's bad. I just think there's like such a clear number 1 that it's not even a question for me. But the Frieza arc has a lot of highlights. Like it has some weak points as we've talked about, but like I mean Frieza versus Goku. That was the first time where I realized that like. Pop culture had memeified Dragon Ball Z because like I thought Dragon Ball Z was a dude charging up for like 3 episodes. I see where that sentiment comes from, but I think a lot of people have it wrong because that's not where Dragon Ball Z falters in its pacing. It falters in its pacing when that stuff isn't happening.
God, you're so right.
Like the charging up and stuff is awesome. The fights taking forever. They don't take forever. I was never upset that I had to wait till the next episode for a fight. Like, that's fine. They choreograph these fights as if they're like exposition, because they are in the world of Dragon Ball Z. But like when I'm watching Trunks and Goten try to like fuse, and I'm just agonizingly bored, that's where I'm like, this is the Dragon Ball Z pacing that people should be making fun of.
Correct.
And memifying. But Frieza has a lot of great moments. Obviously, we've got the Ginyu boys.
I hate watching the Ginyu Force.
I love them, and they're awesome, and they're iconic. That's kind of the first time where Frieza and Goku start to have this, I wouldn't say friendly relationship, but teaming up for the sake of not dying relationship.
Goku and Frieza?
Or Goku and Vegeta, sorry.
Oh, yeah.
And Goku and Frieza's fight is awesome. Yeah, I just think it's a great time. And it also, that one expands the lore quite a lot. We get a second dragon. All Namek, of Namek is a lot. We get fake Namek.
Oh, yeah.
Don't forget that. And I do think Frieza's a cool villain. I just, the arc he's in kind of, messes that up a bit pacing wise, but it's cool.
You would not believe how much your opinion would change about Frieza in general if his lines were accurate and if his lines were voice acted by the actual voice actor, which is Christopher Ayers.
I didn't get any of him.
No. You got Linda Young, who I'm sure she did great for what her director told her to do, but it doesn't fit the character. And that's why they replaced, that voice actor. Dude, like if you watch the Namek arc in Kai, or read it is like, or no, just watch Kai. Dude, it is so, it probably would become, maybe not your favorite, but it would definitely heighten the arc for you.
Yeah. Because
I love the arc because there's so many moving parts. It's so cool to see Vegeta team up with Gohan and Krillin for a while. Even though he's got his own motives, he's trying to get the Dragon Balls for himself. Frieza's collecting the Dragon Balls. It's one of our third time seeing Gohan get really angry and like either rescue Namekian, which ended up being Dende, which ended up saving the world in its own way, or whenever he fights second form Frieza by himself. We see Piccolo get a big power up when he absorbs Nail, which is pretty much never mentioned again.
Our last Nail appearance. For now. I do know that we do have one more.
We do have one more, and I can't wait.
I'm so excited.
Because you will know, and you're gonna be so hype. But I do love it.
Yeah, Frieza number 3,
and then there's just nothing to me that comes close to like Krillin dying and Goku becoming a Super Saiyan. I think that moment is so perfect, even despite all the other issues. Like that moment did not have any of those issues. There was no voice acting issue. There was no, like, that moment is done. The music is so goddamn incredible. Like, I can watch it 1,000 times and I still, to this day, I will get chills every time I watch it. Anyway, continue.
Number 2, the Android Saga.
You like Android?
Yeah, I do like Android. I like the it's the first, it's really the only, no, not the only, it's the first big twist of Dragon Ball Z. We have 19 and 20. Turns out they're not the bad guys. We've got Gero. We've got and then 17, 18, and obviously 16. I think 16 is like a really well done character in Dragon Ball Z, and his arc is fun. He's a cool character, and he's a nice contrast to the other androids. I think the androids are probably the coolest designed villains. Final Form Frieza obviously is really cool, but I mean the androids, the fact that they just look like people and they got jeans on and like a vest and stuff, that goes hard. Fights pretty incredible.
Yep.
And even like the dialogue a lot. I really like how cold 17 and 18 are compared to, they don't talk much. We just had Frieza, who did a lot of talking and very villainous ways. I like that 18 and 17 are a little more mysterious, and you don't really know what's going. Our heroes don't really know what their deal is. They just know that they're like hyper deadly, and then it's kind of cheating. But I think the Android Saga like sets up the next saga like really well.
Yeah. It really does. It's so perfect.
Yeah, I don't know if Android is its own saga, but like it was to me because you don't know Cell's even a part of it until forever. Gosh, and then like Future Trunks and stuff. I mean, lots of cool things happening at that aspect of Dragon Ball Z.
Future Trunks bonding with Vegeta a bit, and then he gets. We think he gets killed whenever Cell comes back, and you get to see. Oh, that's in Cell.
Yeah.
I don't know my arcs. No, I agree. Like them as villains is super cool. 19 and 20, I'm not a huge fan of, but then it turns out 20 is Jiro, and 19 is Vegeta's last dub. Basically, gets destroyed by a cocky Vegeta, which is always fun to watch.
Yeah.
Of course, 17 and 18 are awesome, and ironically, the one who is the most machine out of them, 16, is the one that's the most human and just wants peace at the end of the day, pretty much, as he learns about the world.
It's kind of messed up that in the final wish they couldn't just add 16
or have Bulma rebuild him or anything.
Yeah,
but I guess they thought it would lessen the impact of Gohan's moment, which it would, but it would be also the first time that Dragon Ball cares about that, because they bring back Krillin after Goku turns Super Saiyan. You know what I mean? Like, and that was supposed to be Krillin's actual death because he had already been brought back once. But then the Namekian Dragon Balls didn't have that rule. Very convenient. And then your
number
best?
one, the Cell Saga.
It's gotta be.
Yeah, the literally just Gohan's moments in the Cell Saga make it number one for me. And then you've still got all the other awesome moments. The fights, watching Satan get his ass kicked, like, oh gosh, it's just so good. The Cell Saga, I immediately think of the tournament at the end, but there's so much before that. We see Cell grow from like larvae to final form Cell.
Yep.
And it's just so cool. He's the first menacing villain to society on Earth. Obviously Frieza had plans, but Cell like goes around like a stalker on Earth. That one scene where he's in the building and the people are hiding behind the desks and stuff. That's so cool.
It's like a horror movie.
Yeah, and our heroes were like helpless. They couldn't really. They didn't do anything. There was nothing to do, and I just think that was a really cool way. And Boo does that too, but I think Cell nails this villain is unstoppable. What do we do? Vibes so much more. And then the moment.
Of course,
it's unreal. It's so dang good. And then right before that, we have Goku's sacrifice that does nothing.
Yeah.
So cool.
It is.
It's amazing.
It's amazing, man. I don't know how it's not everyone's favorite. I love to, like, imagine Frieza shows up and you can pretty much beat him, right? Like, Piccolo was going to beat Imperfect Cell. And so Imperfect Cell retreated because Red Ribbon miscalculated how powerful these characters have become in the meantime.
Yeah.
Because they didn't spy on Namek, they were spying on Earth, which is so cool. I love that it's Red Ribbon for the OG Dragon Ball watchers, as we've mentioned. And but yeah, the fact that Cell is beatable and then he becomes semi-perfect, and Vegeta comes out of the time chamber stronger than ever, and also semi-perfect Cell is still beatable. He is 100% stronger than him. Goku's still in the time chamber, so he doesn't have a say in the matter. So Vegeta decides when 18 gets found to allow, his cockiness allows Cell to become perfect, which becomes, would have become Vegeta's and everyone's demise because of his cockiness. So that's a lesson hard learned for Vegeta. Yet he redeems that in the final moment when Gohan doesn't have the strength to overcome Cell during the Kamehameha, and he fires off just one blast at Cell, and it's just enough distraction to let Gohan finish him off.
So good.
I mean, it's perfect, man. And then he learns from it, in future.
It was also so cool watching, seeing what would become Cell, like his little larva form, and then watching, like, I knew where we were headed because I'd seen, like, Cell had forms, and then to find out that he gets stronger by like sucking people up in his tail that's just wild. Like in an instant, like once you're getting sucked up, that's it. Like 17 gone. Just so cool. It's terror. It's terrifying. Like as a villain, this villain, unlike other villains in Dragon Ball, didn't just kill you, it took you and took your life and your power to become stronger. So not only does your death, if Boo kills you, you stop, you suck. Like you died, you didn't get to save the world. If Cell kills you, your death is responsible now for his strength. I mean,
Yeah.
not obviously, like, it's
No,
not
yeah,
your
yeah.
fault, but like every death to Cell, and our heroes were trying their hardest, made Cell even harder for the people left over, which is a really cool foil. And getting to watch that play out, getting to watch these characters go down, and then realizing, crap, that means it's going to be even harder for Gohan to beat him. It's even harder for Goku. Like, so cool.
He is such a cool foil to Goku because he likes fighting like Goku does, but he's obviously got the evil aspect to him. Plus, the fact that he was engineered with all of their cells in the first place is so cool to me. Like, he's part Frieza, he's part Vegeta, Goku, Piccolo, which is why he can regenerate. So, like, that aspect of it's so cool to me too.
And he's got a cool design. Some of his are not, but
semi.
yeah, the final is really great.
Yeah, I agree. I love Perfect Cell. And then he comes back as Super Perfect Cell, and that's even cooler. Yeah, I agree. It's got to be the best. Which is crazy because, like I said, apparently in Japan, that's when the ratings were lowest.
That's wild. Would it change? Would Kai change? Do you think Kai would change
To me?
my feelings of Cell?
Oh, no, I think they'd stay about the same. Gohan's voice actor being a different person is a little jarring at first.
Oh, really?
Yeah. But no, it's really, really great. It wouldn't change too much because there's not too much like really bad filler, and the voice actor's amazing, so that being replaced, he's not replaced, he comes back. But it just enhances it, makes it even better. Just like everything. I mean, Kai makes all of it better, except the only fault is the music is different and it's not as good. But otherwise, yeah, Kai makes everything better, dub wise and animation wise and filler wise. What character would you assume will be relevant in Super, but will get shafted and will not be relevant?
Ooh. I'm gonna say two, Goten and Gohan.
Ooh. You think Gohan's not... So people love Gohan for like his fights. You think he's just going to end up being like a scholar or whatever?
I already sense that Gohan is that because based on where we've seen him, 10 years later.
Right.
Goten, though, was like... seems to be set up as a fighter, but I think that he won't. Like, I just don't think we'll get much out of him because they unfortunately have Goku as their dad.
Right.
And Goku sells. Goku's what people love. That's who we all love. It's tough to live in the shadow of your father if your father's Goku. I do think Trunks will get some love, though. I see Trunks and Vegeta. Weirdly enough, I see Trunks and Vegeta fighting together side by side more congruently than Goku and his kids.
Yeah, I could see that.
Maybe not for like the same. Maybe Goku doesn't fight with his kids because he's like more protector, and Vegeta's like, nah, we got this, Trunks. But I don't know. I foresee Vegeta and Trunks fighting together more often than Goku and his kids in Super.
Right. I could see that too.
I also hope that Trunks gets the jean jacket again.
Haha, yeah. What? Okay. Do you think one, does Fusion come back? Two, who's fusing?
Does Fusion come back? Yeah, I'm sure it does. And who hasn't fused?
The only two fusions we've seen is Goku, Vegeta, and Goten and Trunks.
Yeah.
Do you think there'll be a new one, or do you think?
I think Gohan and Videl will fuse to form Saiya, Ultimate Saiya.
That would be a really cool character design.
It would be. It'd be like, and they could do it in like a Power Ranger way, where they like come together over a city. No, I don't think that. I think it'd be cool to see like Piccolo and Gohan fuse.
I know, but how do you do that, right?
Yeah, you don't. There's no like. No, there's no. You can't really. But man, that'd be so cool. And contextually, I think that would be, other than Goku and Vegeta, that would be the coolest.
Yeah, because they're their own little duo.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
I hope that the Gohan Piccolo relationship is nurtured more, because that was one of the highlights in the first half of Dragon Ball Z for me.
I agree.
And the show makes it a highlight. It's a really, I mean, that's like Gohan's gi is Piccolo's outfit. Like that's
why I don't like when he takes his dad's at the end.
Yeah.
After the training.
It's cool because like it's your dad, but no, Piccolo is Gohan's dad.
Yeah, he respects Piccolo probably more than anybody.
Yeah.
You think Goku and Vegeta fuse again?
Yeah, I'm sure they will. I don't know why necessarily, but I'm sure they will.
Will we ever see future Trunks' timeline again?
No. We saw his movie, and I think that's the last time.
You think it's done?
Yeah, I think so.
Dunzo.
Which I'm cool with. I mean, we're kind of at that
Yeah.
Like, we are at Future Trunks now, basically, in age. I
Right.
liked Future Trunks because...
He's still a different character, but
Yeah.
yeah, I get what you're saying.
I mostly like Future Trunks because the tension of his story, but also like his design is just one of the coolest. And
Right.
I hope that Trunks comes in with the sick, nasty fits in Super.
Does the series deserve its place in pop culture, do you think?
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. There's no denying that. Even like when I watch other shows, like My Hero, I'm watching right now, like the Dragon Ball Z influence is so clear, and it's not even an influence you have to act like you don't have. It's
Right.
like I feel like everyone respects Dragon Ball Z. It has its issues, but it's a goat. It's OG.
It's the grandfather of all these shows we love. I mean,
Yeah.
One Piece. I mean, One Piece started, long time ago, but it's still very, very inspired by Dragon Ball Z. Of course, the modern ones like My Hero and One Punch Man is like a satire of like the Dragon Ball Z genre. Really, pretty much everything in shonen has roots in Dragon Ball Z.
Yeah.
And it does show, especially, the power-ups and always looking for the next level, and
Just like the bravado of the characters. Like, they're all like shonen characters are larger than life because of Dragon Ball Z.
yeah.
Like, they are the main characters of the show, but Goku is the main character of the world in the same way that like Midoriya and All Might feel like the main characters of My Hero, in the same way that Luffy is the main character of the world in One Piece. Like, the world is reacting to them and responding to them, not the other way around. And
That's funny you should mention that, because Goku like has been analyzed by many as like a character that doesn't really change overall as a character, but has a cause and effect on those around him, and so that's pretty interesting you say that, and I agree. I only have one more kind of question, and it's basically like, what are your predictions for the other movies? So like, we got Resurrection F. You've technically seen it.
yeah, I still think I remember enough of Resurrection F to know.
Do you remember what is like all right? So you watched it 8 years ago.
Yeah.
Do you remember anything about like who gets a dub?
No, I don't remember who wins. I know Frieza's like the bad guy.
I mean, it's called Resurrection
Yeah.
F. Yeah.
And I know that I don't remember who. I want to say Goten or Gohan. Somebody's eating a lot of ice cream near the start of the movie, and then I know the movie is mostly Vegeta, Goku, and Frieza. Their Bulma's in the beginning, but
you don't remember like major like
No.
like who gets the win, what
I don't even
happens,
know
how
they
Frieza
win.
comes back, how any of that.
I don't
stuff?
remember anything about the different hair color, like none of that. I know that they have the blue hair at one point, and I know that Frieza's back, but like, I don't know.
He's back. So what do you think of it? Like, what is your prediction of the movie? Just comes back and what? You think they're just retelling like the Frieza arc, or
No, I don't remember. I don't even know how he could come back. Is the thing. Like, I don't know how he comes back. So I feel like I'm in the dark.
right? So like, if you had to predict,
I assume he comes back through. Last we saw of him, he got chopped in half.
many pieces and then exploded.
Fair. I think he will be wished back with Dragon Balls by somebody who I don't know because I don't remember. And then he wants vengeance. Sure. And he goes after Goku and Vegeta and disturbs their peace, and they do what they do best, which is
how
fight.
could he possibly? What is he gonna do? I mean, like, they're way beyond that.
He doesn't know that,
right?
And we don't know when he came back. I don't think in the movie Frieza gets. Maybe he does. The movie is called Resurrection F, but I think it's like a revenge story. I think Frieza wants revenge.
Right, but I'm saying, like, how could he possibly fight them at this point? They are so much stronger.
Maybe he's stronger too.
Whoa.
Yeah.
How? Just because?
Maybe he's got some enhancements.
True. How do you think it ends though? Like, do you think it just ends in like, you don't know, Frieza's dead again? You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, I think so.
Interesting.
I think it's just a fan favorite character, and they wanted to bring him back to let him
merchandising.
Yeah, let him kick some butt, and
so that one is also Dragon Ball Z.
That makes sense.
Branded.
I mean, merchandising back when Frieza arc happened was nothing like it is today.
Yeah, that is very
Today,
true.
you make movies for merch.
Yeah.
Back then, merch was a byproduct of what you were doing. So, like, it could very well be, yeah, we brought Frieza back because now we can sell shirts and toys and all kinds of stuff, and you're going to buy it because that's what our society is now.
And I do.
Yeah.
And
we don't have any Frieza statues, though. We did.
Yeah, I got a couple.
That's right, 'cause I remember his tail kept falling off.
Yeah, what do you think? What do you think the Broly movie does? Because you've seen the original Broly movie, and so you have to assume like this is a now canon version of the character, but like what is different? You know,
I think it'll be pretty similar to the first Broly. Like I think it'll be like a powerful dude named Broly like comes to Earth looking to fight, and it's gonna be sick. I don't think it's gonna be anything more deep than that, because if this is the first canon Broly, like, yeah, why would someone come and challenge, like, come to Earth, and what are they gonna do?
You think he's just gonna hate him because he cried as a baby?
No, I don't think it's gonna be that. I imagine, I don't know. I still want something that's like someone off Earth heard of what Goku and Vegeta can do and wants to like witness that.
Interesting.
I think Broly would be cool to do that, and I get the sense that Broly is a movie about Goku and Vegeta having to like overcome insurmountable odds like through fighting. Like I feel like that movie is a bunch of like really fantastic fights.
God, I hope so. And then last one is superhero. That's way beyond the horizon.
Superhero,
you blind on it?
I have no idea. I really have no. I haven't seen much people talk about it. I haven't seen. Mostly I've heard from you that like a superhero exists. I know it's like it came out after Super. I don't even know if it's after Super's story, but I don't know anything. I think I've seen the villains though. They look like little sharks.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Maybe something to do with the Red Ribbon Army, because Piccolo's skin in Fortnite came with the Red Ribbon Army glider.
I hate that Fortnite has like any relevancy to this conversation.
I don't know. Funny. Something like that. But
speaking of which, later tonight,
I should be able to get some dubs.
Okay.
But yeah, I think that superhero, I'm very in the dark. But it's the first movie that's come out where I know to specifically avoid it. Resurrection F, I went and saw for the hype and like of it.
Yeah, and you were I think watching Dragon Ball at the time, like early on in Dragon Ball.
I think so.
And I think I was just like, yeah, just come watch it.
Yeah, Battle of the Gods. I'm excited.
I saw that movie in 2013. I saw it 10 years ago in theaters, and almost no one. I won't say that. A lot of people can't say that they went and saw that movie in theaters because it was not like Superhero, where it was in the theaters for like 2 weeks and it was like promoted. There was a poster for Superhero. No, this was back when anime movies did not come to US theaters. And so it was in the theaters for one day.
Yeah, probably
maybe two. One showing. And like only the hardcorest of hardcore Dragon Ball fans were there. And it was amazing, like seeing a Dragon Ball movie in theater. And then imagine having to wait years in between these movies, and then having to watch Super and wait a year for Broly, and then wait years after that for Superhero. But you're just going to be consuming it. It's like binging something on Netflix after it's been out for a year. Like you get to consume it in a completely different way than most people had to.
That's what I mean. I'm a winner. That's what it is.
I'm so excited to hear what you think about the stuff that's coming up. I'm
really excited too.
I really am. It's gonna be so fun.
I'm excited to see what modern Dragon Ball Z is.
Yeah,
because like a lot can change from a creator's viewpoint in 20 years.
Just the lack of filler in general. Yeah. I mean, there's filler. Don't get me wrong, but like we said, like the fact that the arcs are shorter, they're not so dragged out. There's not 300 episodes to watch. There's only 131. Like, I'm very excited.
Even like modern, like I'm excited to see modern animation. I mean, Dragon Ball Z has some fantastic animation, but sometimes I'm watching, like I'll be watching the My Hero scene and I'm like, this is wild. I cannot, like, it's very exciting that I'm going to see Goku doing stuff in that high quality. Like it's just gonna be
absolutely
pretty wild.
Yep.
And yeah, music. Like I'm excited about every aspect of what is in store for Dragon Ball.
I can't wait. We have a lot to cover. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you for sticking with us. And we will be seeing you quite soon.
Yes.
Find out next time
what
on...
is next?
Next is Battle of Gods.
Battle of Gods, okay.
We're watching it. So find out next time on Dragon Ball Z /Super. Speak. Oh, shoot. I meant to say speak, not Z. Whatever.